everybody to this week's Texas Roadhouse press conference. We've got a lot going on this week, beginning tonight with Falcon Madness, your first look at this year's men's and women's basketball teams. That'll take place tonight at 7:30 in the UTPB gym. Tomorrow night, cross country is on the road at Angelo State. Men and women are running at 5 o'clock in St. Angelo, and tomorrow is also the weekly Justin Kerrigan show at Scratch Kitchen, which will be broadcast on Rock 95.1 from 6 to 7 o'clock. Thursday night, we've got 3 home events. Women's soccer takes on Texas A&M International at 5 o'clock. They're followed by the men taking on Lubbock Christian at 7 o'clock. And at the same time, volleyball will also be taking on Lubbock Christian at 7 o'clock in the gym. Saturday, volleyball is at home at 11 o'clock, closing out the weekend against Angelo State. Men's and women's swimming and diving are on the road in San Antonio, taking on Trinity at 11 o'clock. Football is on the road at Chadron State in Chadron, Nebraska, with a 1 o'clock kickoff. Women's soccer is at home at 1 o'clock against St. Mary's, and men's soccer is taking on Dallas Baptist at home later Saturday night at 7 o'clock. All right, today we'll start out with head men's and women's swimming and diving coach, Cam Kiner. His team's coming off a pair of victories against Ouachita Baptist this past weekend.
Had a really solid weekend. Had to fight a little bit of the cold out there, having our last home meet. Super excited about how we did. I competed and won 27 out of the 32 events that we had scheduled. Our divers did really well. Garrett Martin qualified for the 3-meter diving this time. First time this year he's done that. And also set the school record in the 1-meter diving as well. But really great showing by our freshmen coming out and competing well against a tough Ouachita team and their conference rival as well.
What impressed you most on Saturday?
I think our relays did a really good job. It's mixed with returners and freshmen, and so getting that relay takeoffs and everything like that are a little tricky. We had some troubles on our men's side in the last event from our A relay. They were a little off on one of them and got DQ'd, unfortunately. But trying to learn from each other as far as when they need to go in and take off for that. But the splits and everything that they had were really good, and just really got everybody going for the first event of the meet and then finishing strong for the last event.
Coach, what are you looking to see this coming week?
Trinity is a really strong opponent. They're a Division III team out of San Antonio. Always either conference runner-up for them or conference champion in the conference that they're in. Super excited to go up against them. It's their first competition, so it's our first time really getting a look at what they're doing. So they've seen that we've swum 4 weeks in a row and kind of see what we're pretty good at and maybe what we're not so good at. And we have really no idea except for kind of looking at times for freshmen coming in and kind of what they've done last year as well. But really excited. I mean, we've started off super strong all around. Our women's team is ranked 30th right now. Our men's team is ranked 23rd in the nation according to collegeswimming.com. And all of our relays are ranked in the top 20 right now in Division II. So it's been a really exciting start for us, and hopefully we can just keep that momentum going.
Your young swimmers have had a pretty solid season. What can you say about them?
I think they're really excited about working hard, and I know our returners have a lot of freshmen that are racing after them for relay spots and really after individual spots as well. So it's just raising the bar even higher. Our returners know that some of those spots are up for grabs and that we're able to kind of switch some relays around to see where we can be our best at. So that's been the nice thing about having 5 competitions in a row, including this week, of being able to see where we can fit our relays into, where in a couple of weeks we can maybe play around with our schedule a little bit more, see exactly where people might not be their strongest and see if they can really compete at that level. And then in about a month and a half, we've got our mid-season championship meet that we'll go out and try to taper down a little bit for and be a little bit more rested for to get a really exciting result in the middle of the season.
What kind of distances are you guys doing right now?
Our sprinters are probably anywhere between 4,000 and 5,000 yards practice, doing some dry land in between there. Middle distance, which is mixed between middle distance freestylers and then stroke swimmers. They're going anywhere between 4,500 and maybe 6,000 in practice, and the distance as much as we can get in 2 hours. They need to get a ton of yardage in, making sure that they're ready to go for the 1,000-mile races. And that's something that we've really bumped up over the past week and a half to make sure that they're ready to go for those mid-season.
Okay.
All right, thank you guys.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, next up is Next up is head volleyball coach Tim Lesh. The Falcons are coming off of wins against Midwestern State and Texas Women's this past week.
Good afternoon. Falcon volleyball fought hard this weekend and came away with 2 important road wins. That's one of our team goals this year, is to be a good road team, and it's hard to do in the Lone Star. Everybody plays well at home, there's a lot of travel, and it's really hard for our players to drive 5 or 6 hours and get off the bus and play a good team against a big crowd on their home court and get away with wins. And both of the matches were close, but our players finished strong. It was a good team effort, and I do want to recognize a few players that had big weekends. On Friday, Natanya Allison and Cassidy Dolan got their first starts, so we had a new lineup again, and they both led us offensively in that match, a freshman and a transfer, so that was great to get some more contributions from new players. On Saturday, we had a couple other players step up. Quincy Strambler, who's been good for us all year, and Haley Robinson got her first start since I think our first weekend, so they both did great. And last but not least, I want to mention a couple players that played well in both, but don't always get the recognition. Selma Murillo's one of our outside hitters. She passed well, she defended well, she hit well. Nothing, as a leader for stats or anything, but was really reliable and dependable for us. And Annalise Lucio has taken over as our single setter, so we've changed that part of our offense and done great the last 4 matches with us doing that. So had a lot of good individual contributions, but it was really a team effort over the weekend.
Last week you really mentioned it's hard for the girls to get going after the lineup change, and this week it seems like it was a little different. How were they able to adjust better this week?
Well, we got to practice a little bit, so one of our lineup changes was with no notice, like we didn't get to practice or anything, didn't expect it, but being able to practice it some helps, and I think the players are starting to realize too that, look, I've got to be ready to go. Somebody could be sick or hurt or having a bad game, and I think our new players are understanding that they've got to be ready to play every single match, and it's great that they're able to do it. It's hard to have your first start in college or whatever and come up and perform, but they were able to do that.
The reason why you went from the 6-2 to the 5-1, or just got down to doing the job you needed to do?
Kind of both. We've got some personnel issues and, fight through injuries and illness and stuff like that, but she's really stepped up when she, has had the opportunities, and right now that's kind of our first option. We hope to have other options available too, but, she's embracing the role and doing everything we need. Both her center role, but also she's getting kills for us, she's serving better, she's a leader out there. So she's doing a lot of things besides just setting that helps her stay on the floor the whole time. But,
she wasn't coming off. She was coming off the floor at times.
Yeah, like I said, we have some personnel issues right now, and hopefully they'll be solved this weekend. We want to have other options available because we have a big weekend, a couple of good teams that are in our division of the conference. But I've got confidence in her. If that's who we need to go with, we'll be just fine.
What are you expecting from Lubbock Christian on Thursday?
I expect they'll fight hard. We were able to pull out a 5-set win on their home court, and I'm sure they didn't like that, so they're going to want to come here and get revenge. But hopefully we'll have a great crowd here, and we tend to play better at home, and they've got three primary hitters that they've used all year, so we kind of know what to expect there, and hopefully we can be a little bit better prepared defensively this time to slow them down.
Great, thanks, Coach.
I wanted to mention one last thing. This weekend will be our breast cancer awareness weekend, so both on Thursday and Saturday we'll have like a pink out, maybe get Pink the Basin involved, so we encourage everybody to come out and wear pink, please.
Thanks.
All right.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, we'll close out today with head football coach Justin Carey.
All right, tough loss. Again, our defense played tremendous, gave us an opportunity. I think one of the big difference in the game was we had 4 turnovers and 0 takeaways. And you don't want to go at our defense and tell them that they got to get some turnovers as well. They held them to 14 points. We got to take care of the football, and I think if we do that, we win that ball game. But go back to the drawing board and figure out how to clean it up a little bit more. Freshman quarterback has done really well. He did some tremendous stuff Saturday, running the ball and throwing the ball. And I think each week, if he continues to get better, it'll be a bright future.
You got to be pretty happy. Again, I know it's a loss, but you got to be pretty happy with the defense against a team that is averaging 41 points a game. What can you speak to them?
Yeah, man, tremendous job. And again, you'd like to come out there if you're holding to 14 points. I think every day of the week you're going to say you're going to win that ball game. We just weren't able to get it done, unfortunately. But they keep doing that. We'll get some wins. We'll get over that hump.
Talk about your travel this week and what you got ahead of you.
Yeah, we're going to leave here at 12:15 a.m. on Thursday and drive a really long ways to almost South Dakota. That's where Chadron, Nebraska is. So it'll be an amazing night's sleep on a charter bus.
What are you expecting from Chadron?
A wild defense, blitz a lot from everywhere, mass confusion. Offensively very explosive. They got some great playmakers, especially on the perimeters, wide receivers. Do a good job throwing the football around, up tempo. A good, really good team.
Can you talk about how the loss for Keegan in the second half kind of affected the defense a little bit?
I don't think it affected the defense any. We got some young guys. Darian Forge went in. He's got a lot of experience. Losing a guy like Keegan, you'll never replace. Kind of like a Chris Ode. Keegan is a different energy to him as well, and how he plays. Obviously, a tremendous playmaker. But I thought our defense, played well in his absence. And it's sports, next man up. Kind of what Tim talked about in volleyball. The young one's got to be ready to go at any point in time.
If you guys were to come home with the win, what do you think it'll do for the confidence of this team?
Well, it'll help. There's no doubt about that. Every victory gets you going a little bit more in that right direction. Obviously, we're itching for it, so hopefully we'll have a nice ride home.
Is it nice to kind of have a break from conference, just kind of in the middle there, or does that affect anyone at all?
It's different because we don't have any experience with this team. So it's a lot of unknown going into it. At least when you're in conference, you have history, you have past, you have things that make you feel comfortable about an opponent. Going into one blind, not knowing a whole lot, only having 3 games of film from this year, kind of leaves a lot out there. You don't know anything about them. So that part of it is a little different. I think anytime you get out of this conference for a week is good. It's a tough conference, but you lose the comfort part of it. Maybe that's good too.
Okay.
All right, thank you guys.
Thanks,
Appreciate it,
Coach.
Coach.